This podcast is meant for mature audiences only and contains strong sexual language.
We are so excited to announce our partnership with Alt Playground, a lifestyle site dedicated to helping you find your next adventure. There are a ton of sites out there for non-monogamy, but what sets Alt Playground apart is their emphasis on being inclusive of a host of ethically non-monogamous groups and sexual preferences. So not only will you find swingers on there, but a host of other groups spanning the spectrum of sexual orientation and gender. When they say they are an open community, they really mean open. So if you're tired of being pigeonholed into a label or looking for something a little different, check out Alt Playground by heading to altplayground.net. Now let's start the show.
All right, everybody, welcome to the Black and Kinky Lifestyle Podcast. This is the Bomber.
And the Bell.
And we are here delivering all things lifestyle. It is November now. We have moved past the election.
Oh, thank you, Jesus.
I am happy it's over. Well, it's not over. It's like
it's
still
not
going,
over
apparently,
at all.
but whatever. We ain't going to talk about that. But I'd just like to acknowledge that Thanksgiving and the holidays are coming up. And
I feel so good about that because I don't have to cook dinner.
Yeah, we're ordering out this time.
Well, you say ordering out. We're having our Thanksgiving dinner catered.
Oh,
be more appropriate.
Is somebody's going to come out here and serve us?
I mean, they're not serving us, but they're bringing all the food and the fixings.
It's basically a delivery then.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, you're using words like catered, and it sounds real like fancy. And it's just a delivery.
Anyway, it's a large delivery.
Okay. Yes, it's a large delivery, and the turkey is going to be a deep fried turkey.
That's correct.
I've never had deep fried turkey in my life. Nope.
It's pretty tasty.
All I know about deep fried turkeys is if you try to cook them indoors, you can burn your house down.
Yes, that's true.
Hold on one second.
Shit.
We are going to have a smaller Thanksgiving crowd, although I don't think it's that much smaller, considering who we are inviting.
Yeah.
But it won't be like the full pack of family we usually have, which is a bummer.
Yeah.
I think Christmas is going to be the same way.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Which is really a bummer because it's my favorite. And it's special.
So you always had the Christmas spirit, Belle.
Yeah.
I did not. So you got your Christmas gifts on time.
Yeah.
Like I got Christmas gifts, but I got them shits like closer to New Year's. like after New Year's.
Oh, wow.
Like my dad was after the New Year's like posts, like return deals. Birthdays weren't on time either. I got gifts like 2 months after my birthday. The money just wasn't right. Sometimes the money isn't on the right schedule.
Yeah. It happens that way sometimes.
So when Christmas would come, it would be full of disappointment for me.
Oh, no.
Like we had no gifts under the Christmas tree. It's all good. We had food and light and stuff and shelter. We had what we needed.
Those were your Christmas gifts.
It built character.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
You know, got to appreciate gifts when they came later on. It's all good.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, and this is our 50th episode.
50 episodes. I can't believe we've done 50 episodes.
We did 50 episodes, son.
It feels like it took a long time to do 50 episodes. Well, yeah, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, we've been at this for like 3 years, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's more like, damn, time is just going by and it just does not care.
Yeah.
You know, it's just happening. Like it was just yesterday. I was like, hey, we should have a podcast. And you were like, nah. And I was like, yeah, let's just do it. It's simple. And then we just started doing that shit. Mm-hmm. I didn't think we'd last for 50 episodes.
Nah. But here we are.
Yeah.
Especially with, what did I see today? Somebody was like, especially since 2020 has lasted like 5 years.
I'm telling you. I can't believe it's just been 1 year and we're almost at the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. 2020 was this bad. We'll see what happens in 2021.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So before we get there, I want to say a few things.
Okay.
I want to say a few things that have been on my chest.
Mm.
I want to talk about thigh brows.
Okay. Sure.
You did not expect me to say that.
No, I'm looking at the thing, but I didn't even read it. So
yeah. So thigh brows. I want to talk about thigh brows. So you know what thigh brows are?
Only because you explained it to me.
Yes.
But it's like that little crease between the thigh and like the pelvis.
That's right. That's right. It's the point where the thighs meet your hips.
Right.
This is very, very important. Ladies, when you do a squat, those of my ladies who are thick, when you do a squat, when you go down, all right. Yes. So I want to talk about thigh brows.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So the thigh brows, ladies, if you do squats, when you do squats,
yeah.
Right, you kind of have that down motion.
Yeah, it's like you're sitting down in a chair,
or you're riding dick. I'm sorry, that was really dirty, but that's what I think of when I see thigh brows.
Okay,
because it's that crease. It's just so erotic. That crease that shows up.
I did not know it was erotic, but okay.
Well, you didn't know about the power of the thigh brow?
No.
Yo,
I didn't know it was a thing until you told me.
No, it's serious. I saw there was a post on Instagram that just showed a picture of a thigh brow, and a caption basically said, yo, whatever happens, just ladies, don't lose this. Like, keep this. Because the beauty of a thigh brow is that you don't have to be a supermodel to have it. Mm-mm. You don't have to be young or old. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the thigh brow is such an easy thing to do. And like, there's a couple of pictures I think we had took on one of Amore Cap and one of Amore's getaways. Mm-hmm. And there was a picture I took with a woman who was on top of me, and she was doing that riding dick stance, mm-hmm. and it was like the thigh brow was just so visible in that picture. I never forgot that picture. But thigh brows are sexy. We should be talking about them. There should be like picket signs, like there should be campaigns appreciating the thigh brow, allowing women to embrace their inner thigh brow. Like, fuck this black girl magic. We need some black thigh brow magic. Okay, thigh brows are the shit. Like, you don't even need a fat ass to have a thigh brow.
You don't.
Like, you just need you need some fat. You need something for the crease to latch onto. Mm-hmm. Thigh brows are sexy. Yo, I'd like to hear what the fellas out there and the ladies out there think of thigh brows. Like, when was the last time you looked at your thigh brow, ladies? Like, just right now, like, just do a squat in the mirror. Like, try to do it like kind of sideways, like a profile view, and look at that crease. Look how big it is, like how thick it is, like just how deep in your thigh region it goes, and appreciate that shit. Thank God you have that shit.
Yeah.
All right. A couple of other things I wanted to say. So I wanted to speak on something in regards to BBCs and Queen of Spades. Mm-hmm. So you guys all know our stance on it.
Well, it's really my stance. But
So the Bell doesn't like these terms.
No.
You think that remind our audience why you don't like them.
Oh, I think they're derogatory and what's the word? My brain hasn't worked right for a while.
Fetishization.
No, they're fetishizing and they're reductionist. There we go.
Reductionist? That's a big word. What does reductionist mean?
It's just like it sounds. It just reduces the person to that one thing. So it's kind of like objectifying.
Objectifying. Okay. That's a less Ivy League school word. So BBC, stands for Big Black Cock, for those of you who, are not sure what we're talking about here, and Queen of Spades. So this is a term that is, given to, primarily white women who are big fans of black men.
It's only given to white women.
Yeah. I don't know.
Well, I don't know if there's like Latino women.
Well, Latino women can still be white, so.
Also true.
But Asian women with Queen of Spades tattoo, that would be a thing.
That'd be interesting.
That'd be really interesting. Asian ladies with Queen of Spades tattoos. Shout out to the show. All right. So that was the Bell's basic stance on it. And I had a male panel, and the guys on the panel, basically, they didn't like these terms, either. They thought it was derogatory, thought it was, could be broken down into a porn category. But, the Mixed Nuts podcast had a single male panel. Mm-hmm. And shout out to the Mixed Nuts podcast, Corey and Brenda, because Corey had asked a question particularly about BBCs and Queen of Spades and what they think of these terms. Mm-hmm. And basically what they came out and said was, those terms don't define me. Mm-hmm. But if those are terms that their partners, whether it's the couples or the women that they play with, if those are terms that their partners embrace, if that is part of their fantasy, then they're fine with it. Mm-hmm. Now, when I told you this, now these were a lot of black men. I don't know if all of them were black, but I'm certain that at least most of them were.
Yeah.
So what's your response to that?
I mean, I get it. I still don't like it, but I get it.
I mean, say more.
So, I mean, I understand that they don't, well, I think we talked about this, that they don't have the same privileges as, say, a couple mm-hmm. would. And kind of, they aren't forced to sleep with anybody, but it's kind of, they have less options. And mm-hmm. so if the options available to them use that terminology, mm-hmm. they may be more forgiving about that.
Yeah. So that's exactly it. So my point was, like, being a member of a couple, a heterosexual couple in particular, and I don't know if we talked a lot about this on our episode on privilege, but that is a lifestyle privilege. Mm-hmm. You, as a guy, if you have a girl on your arm, on your shoulder, whatever they say, you have more access. Women have access to damn near all the parties. Mm-hmm. Like you have access to the playroom floor. Single guys don't have that kind of access. We got to pay, they have to pay more. There's often like a quota, like mm-hmm. if like there are more than 3 single guys at the party, no more left, no more spots left. That's the kind of thing they have to deal with. And, they're really at the mercy of the couples that they're interacting with, right? They really have to kind of make the case for themselves mm-hmm. in a way I don't think couples or single women have to. Mm-hmm. So their situation, and plus, like when we talked about what makes a good single male, we talked about single males being somewhat similar. We might get in trouble for this, but being a little similar to like escorts for hire. Like, mm-hmm. I'm not calling single males prostitutes, right. But it's like,
that's a gigolo, right?
Yeah, basically mm-hmm. a gigolo. What was that movie? I think Schneider
Gigolo.
was in it. Male gigolo, douche Bigelow or some shit. Yeah,
yes.
That movie was awesome. I really liked that movie.
I don't remember it well, but
yeah, I was in high school when that joint came out. It was the best. But they have to. One of the things we said was that they had to contribute to the sexual environment. They had to contribute right. to the erotic nature of the moment, whether that be with a couple, whether that be at a party. Just single males in general, when they get welcomed into into a relationship with a couple, most of the time it is really about a fantasy. It is really about fulfilling the fantasy of the woman or the man. And unfortunately for black men, that's even more the case. It's like, yo, I don't know how often these white couples are just wanting to get to know you rather than like, yo, just come down here and be a bull in this bedroom, dude. Like, let's do this. So it's almost like they're in a position where they have to aim to please, like they have to please like the customer that is buying this service. And so I think that puts them in a position, since they have to contribute to the fantasy, contribute to the environment. If that environment is saying, yo, this is the chocolate room, this is the BBC, you know, we're looking for BBCs, we're looking for Queen of Spades, you know, or we're Queen of Spades looking for some spades, whatever the fuck people are saying. I don't even know how they talk about this kind of thing. But like, basically the single male is there like, all right, I'll take the job. You know what I mean? So it's really different. And given that for single males, it's so hard to get in the door, like they may not feel they have the privilege to be like, I think terms such as BBC and Queen of Spades are just appalling. I will not be a part of this. You know, they have to kind of shelve,
those feelings.
Right. So I wanted to acknowledge that there is a privilege even when it comes to rejecting some of this, some of these terms. So when it comes to the chocolate room, so somebody had sent us a message about chocolate rooms. Like we don't like, you know, I never seen couples in the chocolate room. I've never seen like black couples in the chocolate room talking about we're here, you know. It's pretty clear from my experience. It's pretty obvious that the chocolate room is full of black single men. That is when we go to the chocolate room, that's probably what you should be looking for. If you're looking for something else, that's not the place to be going.
But I do be looking for that, but I don't want to get it from the chocolate room.
Right. That's interesting. So if you went to the chocolate room, like why would it be an issue?
I mean, I went, so the one time I've only been to a chocolate room one time. It was at Naughty. And like, it was great. Like the men looked good. They seemed nice. The music was great. Like the setup was nice. But then it was like just all these white women waiting around to fuck a black dude, and it felt yucky. And then I didn't want to be there or be a part of that.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting that you say that, because when it comes to like any instance of like racism, like fetishization, like I feel like once you see it and smell it, like the slightest scent of it dries up your pussy immediately. Like it is unreal how quickly it happens. Like, oh, they all right. Oh, what she said? What? Oh, no, I'm done with this shit. So it's just like, I'm just kind of setting the stage here. We go in the chocolate room. You're looking for chocolate men. I want you to have a good time. We go in there. You see all these chocolate men like chiseled and greasy and shit, like six packs. Everybody like looking good. And then the moment you see, the moment you see a crowd of middle-aged white women walking up in there, it's like, oh shit, that's what this is. And then it's the Sahara between your legs.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
It really is unfortunate. And but I'd wonder, like, the black men that be up in these chocolate rooms, like, what are they expecting? Because my suspicion is they're actually expecting some white women to be walking up in there. They looking for the Becky. I mean, you know, they'll take some black chicks,
right? But
I think they are in there. I mean, you know, they're in there expecting some white women.
I absolutely believe that.
You know, I'm just trying to imagine like a black woman going up in there in the chocolate room and and the brothers looking at her talking about, you sure you want to do this, sister? Because we don't have to do this here. We could take this to another room if you want. You know.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I just wanted to get that off my chest. I'd be curious as to what other folks have to say about that. Anyway, I wanted to just also mention an Instagram post we had up, and I asked the public, I asked the Insta community, what their dick insurance strategies are. Mm-hmm. So we talk about dick insurance, not in those terms, but basically dick insurance. It's like, yo, when you're expecting to go out there for a play experience or you're going to a swinger party, fellas know that, you know, we sometimes we learn this the hard way. At some point, your dick just isn't going to work. Now, apparently, there is a universal 20% failure rate among men. Like, you know,
I feel like it might be higher.
Well, so it very well may be, but I think the general message is that for men who are healthy, who have vigor, they're not going to be successful 100% of the time. Right. It's sort of embracing the fact that, you know, sometimes that shit ain't going to work, but it doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. No matter what, you're going to have like a 20% failure rate. Now, this requires folks to think about ways to ensure that those failures don't happen.
Right.
I tend to do it, or have tended to do it when we went to swinger parties like 20 years ago. It feels like it's been so long. We're going to do this shit soon, though. We got to do something like just.
It's gonna be terrible. I'm letting you know right now.
Why you say it's gonna be terrible?
Well, not necessarily the party's gonna be terrible. Like, we're gonna be terrible.
Well, first of all, speak for yourself, Belle. Listen, I've been doing yoga. I've been listening to our listeners about what kind of exercises to do to get your stroke game right. Niggas doing stretches and shit.
We're just gonna be really rusty. We've been out of the game for a while.
So you got me fucked up. I just gave you almost 4 orgasms during our last session.
But that's me.
You looking
like,
at
that's
me
us.
like, yo, nigga, you ain't really gonna be able to work it out. So
well, maybe this is me. Maybe I'm just projecting.
You were doing pretty well yourself.
I mean, you know.
I mean, you haven't been on top in a while though.
Oh yeah, and I keep getting a cramp in the thigh brow.
Thigh brow cramps.
Yes.
I could have massaged that away for you.
Yeah, it was all right.
Wait, do you not think you can ride dick right now? I mean, do we need to evaluate your dick riding skills again?
Now the stamina is something else, especially because this knee has started clicking. You know, I don't know what that's about.
So if you ride dick, I'm just gonna hear.
Yes.
Like.
Like, but I wonder if it would be in time with the booty smacking, or if it would be like, you know, smack, click, you know, if it have some rhythm to it.
Just making beats in the fucking bed. And shit.
Right.
Like, keep going, baby. Let me freestyle to this shit real quick.
But, yeah, I just, you know, obviously having sex with each other is one thing. Having sex, and I can tell you right now, it is highly unlikely at our first party back, and I think we're going to talk about this in the next episode, that I will be fucking anybody. It will be a purely exploration, just get back, you know, into the groove mission.
We're going to walk in there and I'm going to be like, so anybody ever done tantric? Anybody in here into that shit? Because that's as far as we're getting. So, all right. So parallel. So you're not fucking. Well, this is news to me, ladies and gentlemen. The Belle is not fucking on our first play experience. Damn.
I mean, if you're like, you know, if you're a runner or, you know, you work out heavy and you haven't done that, you haven't been into the gym in almost a year, you don't go out there and like try to run a marathon. Or, you know, lift 200 pounds, bench press 200. You're not doing that on the first go out.
Well,
you got to build back up to that.
So basically you're saying you'll suck some dick.
Yeah, I can suck some dick.
Okay. All right. Soft swap. That's cool. Soft swap is cool. I got nothing but love for soft swapping. All right. So, okay. All right. So, but I don't think you give yourself enough credit, Belle. You were able to keep them legs open. Your pussy gets wet as fuck now. Like really fucking wet. Like Jesus. Like it's a lot. And like your arousal and your orgasms are synced with breast milk. So like your breasts like are explosive. So it's just all kind of vaginal fluids and breast milk just squirting all over the place. Some people would find that sexy.
Would they? Maybe.
I don't know.
I'll definitely provide somebody a disclaimer. Just know.
I'm saying, I mean, honestly, I think for fellas, if I'm smashing a chick and she's busting nuts through her titties, like, I'm going to have a lot of pride for that. I'm never going to forget that.
Okay, you got a point.
Yes. So, I mean, and honestly, we've been with women who be squirting it up and be making entire messes. They be real apologetic, but I'm like, yo, babe, nobody cares about these sheets.
No.
All right. So dick insurance. I don't even know how we got off on that tangent. So dick insurance. So I had to ask the, Instagram verse about dick insurance and what are some strategies men use to make sure that their joint works right when it needs to. So living the sweet life mentioned avoiding too many drinks, so that's a big one. One that I'm actually gonna adopt. I haven't been drinking that heavily. Somebody talked about the kangaroo pill or a C-ring. I suspect the kangaroo pill is just one of those gas station pills.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure, but like I feel like any of these joints that are named after animals. Like you got the rhino pills, you got the bulls, I don't know. Kangaroo though. I guess when I think of kangaroo, like, I mean, that's not a very vicious, manly animal.
But they do though. You haven't seen the kangaroos fight?
Not outside of like the Warner Brothers cartoons from back in the day.
No, in like real life. No, they fight with their feet and they be really kicking with their tail. Like they can sit on their tail.
Oh yeah.
And kick with their feet.
Mm-hmm.
It's be intense.
Okay. Do you get turned on when you see that? Like kangaroos kicking and shit? Like the way you were explaining it, you were like, oh my God, like those feet, they just be kicking and they can stand on their tails, their erect, thick tails. Okay. Kangaroo pills. Shout out to the kangaroo pills. If anybody takes them shits, let us know. I want to know how they work. Mm-hmm. So somebody mentioned sea moss. So apparently, it's an algae. It's reddish, found in the Caribbean. Good source of all kinds of nutrients. It has some zinc in it, apparently. You can take it in raw form or capsule form. I decided to just get this shit. I mean, I started reading on it and I just like, yo, it's good stuff. Let me tell you something. Ever since I started taking sea moss, I wake up with woodies.
Oh, really?
Every single day.
I didn't even know you had been taking it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I take a whole bunch of supplements.
You did.
But this was, I mean, not just in terms of like male enhancement, but this was like, it's supposed to be super healthy. Mm-hmm. So I was like, all right, well, I'll add this to my supplement repertoire. I wake up every day feeling like a 14-year-old boy.
I don't know if that's a good or bad thing.
I mean, it's very, it's empowering when your dick could get that hard. I'm telling you, in the morning. So that wasn't the most interesting response. The most interesting response was somebody who mentioned that they, have penile implants. Mm-hmm. Now, penile implantation is one of those things that you hear about, like dick pumps.
Right.
That people use. And when I heard of the penile implant, I was like, you know what? I have no idea what this looks like. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go on the internet and find out.
Yeah.
Now, apparently, if you search this shit on YouTube, you will see a full video of a dick implant surgery.
Oh.
You can see that shit. Just search it on YouTube and you will see it. Now, it is absolutely incredible. Because what they do is they open up they open you up like right between the place where your shaft meets your scrotum.
Mm-hmm.
They cut an incision there and they insert these long tubes just about the length of your shaft.
Mm-hmm.
And there's this fluid capsule that they also implant. In this particular video, they put it in the testicle area.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, it's like a reservoir. You kind of switch it one way for the fluid to get shot into the implants, because there are two of them. They fill with fluid and they harden your dick.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you're done with it, you can, switch it to another, function or whatever, and it drains the fluid and it goes back in this reservoir. So you can literally turn your dick on and off at will with these implants. I thought it was amazing.
That is amazing.
If I have mischaracterized the penile implant and people got that shit, yo, holler at me. I think it's amazing for anybody who can go through this surgery and it's been working out. Yo, God be with you.
Well, the interesting thing you told me is that so you have options of where your dick switch is.
Yeah.
So one, you said the guy had it in his balls, but another one is the switch can be in the abdomen.
Yeah, just like under the belly button, I think.
Which I just think is strange.
Yeah, I think that's strange too. Like, I'd rather just have the switch in the same place.
Right, yeah.
Like, you ready, bitch? Click! And it just like slowly, yeah, I think it's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. We might have some bionic dicks at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can literally just turn it on and off. Like, there's an on and off switch on your scrotum.
Yeah.
What
if your partner turned it on in your sleep and fucked you while you were asleep?
Okay, that would definitely be rape.
I know. That's you have no control over your dick.
Yeah, I could imagine. No, I actually can't imagine that happening. Just wake me up. Shit. But I guess what I'd worry about when it comes to penile implants is an injury.
Mm-hmm.
If you you riding on your bike or something and then you fall off and you bust the reservoir.
Mm-hmm.
And you gotta get surgery in order to fix this problem. So they stitch up the reservoir and put the liquid back in. I don't know.
Or what if the switch gets stuck in the on position?
Oh, shit.
You can't turn it off.
Yeah.
That'd be unfortunate.
Yeah, that would be unfortunate. Because it's not like Viagra. All you gotta do is wait a couple of hours and you'll be all right. Oh, man. All right. Okay, moving on from dick implants. Oh, follow up for last episode. The last episode we had was on friendships.
Yeah.
So the bell kept alluding to the fact that she doesn't have a whole bunch of them.
Yes. Did someone ask a question about this?
No, but it was something we just left in the air, and
okay.
I want to say a few things to you about that.
Oh,
okay. Now. The bells, I feel like you're a really posh and exclusive club. Okay. And you're the bouncer of your own club. And the thing is, I've been to this club several times. I go every day. Mm-hmm. I love being in this club.
Yeah.
It's it's clean, it's organized, it's fun, and, the few people that are in there with me are cool too. Mm-hmm. But you don't let a lot of people in your club. You just don't let, you just nah, you can't come in. Nah, I'm not ready for you. Nah, you gotta come next year, maybe. I don't know. I'm not ready for this. I haven't been to the gym that often, so you can't come in. That's you. See, my club is packed. Like I let everybody, I was like, yo, as long as you're not a killer and you're not an asshole, like, come on in, man.
Yeah.
Come on in. So you don't be letting people in your club, man.
I be letting people in my club, but I will say that I am exclusive. But it's not like you're not good enough to be in my club kind of thing. It's not that.
No, sometimes it'd be like you be like, the club ain't clean enough.
Yes. Yeah. I don't. And look, I do have friends, just not a lot of them. We've talked about this. I'm an introvert, right? So,
yes.
Talking to people is just a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It just takes a lot of energy. It's hard. I don't like small talk. It's annoying.
Mm-hmm.
So there's just a lot of barriers for people to get into the club
mm-hmm.
that I have established. There's no reason for them to be there. Mm-hmm. That's just
got a whole bunch. You got a whole line of people just waiting.
I do. I just have a whole line of people, and I'm just like, okay,
mm-hmm.
In terms of that. But I am. The club is open,
mm-hmm.
and if you really, really want to get in there, you can.
Yeah.
It's not worth the energy to some folks. And I totally understand that. Not even mad at it.
Mm-hmm. It's a shame because these folks, I'd be like, yo, this club is nice. This club is nice. Come in.
They don't be believing you.
No, they don't be believing me because they see the outside and it's not welcoming. Like it's not giving me enough small talk. I don't think it wants me here. But when I see somebody new come up in the club, it's so exciting. I'd be like, oh shit. Like, anyway, I just wanted to make sure I said that in case people were wondering. Mm-hmm. The Belle is not a pariah. She's just so as sweet as she sounds on here. Super introverted. Yeah. All right. Shout out to our Patreon members: Trey, Lene, Desi, Vision, Rizzy, Jerome, Mike, Jill, Derek, Texas Bama, Redonia, Clifton, Brown Girl, Silverback, Christy, Mr. B, Chadwick, and Ricky. Thank you so much for your support. You guys are really helping us.
Yes.
Some of your donations have allowed us to up our equipment. They've allowed us to increase, some marketing on the show, get us some more merchandise that we otherwise would not have been able to afford. And yeah, I really appreciate it. So just know your money is going to good places. We are not using it to buy crack.
No. Or heroin if we were in Oregon.
Right. Yo, drugs made a big comeback this year. Yo.
I don't know what they were thinking, but
it's all about decriminalizing. It's not like, they trying to sell fucking spiderweb black tar heroin from the pharmacy.
Yeah.
But shout out to cannabis for winning big. Oh man. And nobody's talking. I'm so glad it's like Trump is really swallowing all the momentum from any of these like anti like drug folks.
Yeah.
So appreciate that. Shout out to Trump. Shout out to Biden. Shout out to the first African American. Does she identify as African American?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And Indian.
Okay. Well, shout out to the first non-white vice president female. That's a big deal.
It is.
It's actually a huge deal.
It's ginormous.
Sorry, she's sexy. I like her smile.
She's a nice looking woman.
All right, we got some good news.
Oh, been waiting to share this with y'all.
All right, why don't you share it then, Belle?
We have been selected as one of the hosts of Podcastapalooza 2021 in Miami.
Yes, big up, big up. May 21st to May 24th, 2021 will be in South Beach. We're going to be at a gorgeous hotel that will be taken over.
Yes.
So this will be like kind of like a Naughty and Nolans, except on the beach and shit. So the property. So you had a better look at the property than I did.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, beachfront, palm trees. It's going to be awesome. So basically, Podcastapalooza will be an opportunity for you guys to come down, meet some of your favorite podcasters. There are going to be a few podcasters down there swinging down under, clearly. Casual Swingers, We Got a Thing, Swinging Outside the Lines, Euphoria Chronicles, Torrid Souls, Monogamous Marriage, Average Swingers, Sapphic Swingers, and us. That's right. There's going to be topless pool. Hold on. I'm going to bring you back for those who are dying to go to a swinger event. Topless pool parties every day.
Yes.
Okay. There's going to be parties every night.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also going to be some educational and entertaining seminars led by some of your favorite podcasters.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a whole lot of fun. Let's address the elephant in the room, though. You know, COVID is a thing. Apparently,
it is.
It is making a comeback. There is a COVID remix currently happening.
COVID remix.
Yes, because I feel like our rates are going right back to where they were in like
our area has gone back up to where they were in June.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it's just because a lot of places have opened up and people have just been like, fuck it. That's what happens when you got people cooped up inside so long.
Yeah, it's fatigue.
Well, prayers to anybody who's caught this thing and who isn't doing so well. Prayers to all of those who have lost family members and friends and loved ones. We do want folks to be safe, and Podcastapalooza is prioritizing safety. They are prepared to cancel this whole thing and give everybody a full refund if need be.
Mm-hmm.
But outside of that, there are some pretty strict safety protocols in place to make sure everybody's okay. So we'll be talking a lot about that as we get closer to the event, but there are payment plans available. There'll be giveaways between now and the event and even at the event itself. It is going to be a great time. We cannot wait. Please, if you're interested, and we're interested in meeting some of y'all.
Yeah. If you wanted to meet us, like I said, 2020, we had a whole lot of big plans, and those that just went up in flames. To meet y'all, hang out with y'all. But this is not the only opportunity, but this is definitely an opportunity to meet us, hang out with us, see if everything you hear on this podcast is bullshit, or if we are real life what you thought we were or not.
Well, the bell is leaving out the most important part.
What?
If you come to this event, you're probably going to see her titties. Because the bell has been dying to just be somewhere sunny.
Oh yeah,
where she could just have her titties out.
I didn't realize how much I enjoyed it. Now, and the thing is, I don't want to be completely naked. I don't need that. I like to have a bottom on, but it's just something about being on a beach or by a pool and being topless. Just not having the top piece on is just a kind of freedom I need in my life.
Yeah, and I just can't wait to see all the women embrace that freedom. I'm all about the empowerment of women and owning their bodies.
I bet you are.
Just take those tops off. Take those oppressive blouses off and let those titties free. Salute to all the titties out there. Shout out to the titties.
Shout out to the titties.
Speaking of titties, I might as well mention this now.
Oh.
So Alt Playground, I just want to give another shout out to Alt Playground. Again, they have one of the best interfaces, one of the best swinger site interfaces. Well, actually, it's not a swinger site, but really a sex positive site. But they have this thing called the Big Wall. They have a dashboard that allows you to just see what's going on with the site and with your account all in one screen. It's really beautiful. It's really nice to look at on your mobile device. I'm just going to say I'm excited for every Tuesday I mean, they've been really consistent with it, but they have this big wall where people post their pictures. And, there's quite a few pictures of the Belle's titties on the big wall that they have. And every Tuesday you get to see them titties. So shout out to APG for making that happen.
Hey sexies, this is the Belle here to let you know that you can support us through Patreon. On Patreon, you can get access to our Pillow Talk conversations, where we have private reflections on media, sexuality, our dates, relationships, and life in general. Our personal blog, where we describe our private thoughts and lifestyle experiences, and get a shout out on the show. Ultimately, we upload content to our Patreon at least once a week outside of our monthly episodes. If you want to sign up for our Gold Tribe membership, you will get access to our band community, where you can have real-time access to us and our community. That's right, real-time access, where we regularly guide and participate in chats about the crazy shit we think about on the daily basis. It is also a golden opportunity to get regular access to us, where you can ask questions and tell us what's on your mind. Our Platinum package comes with access to our live monthly Q&A, and the Diamond package comes with one personal custom voice recording by myself or the Bomber, and a customized review of your lifestyle profile. These tiers are created purposefully to make delivering our content manageable on our end, as we have a ton of listeners. The proceeds from our Patreon support will be used to invest in better equipment to improve the quality of the show and the content we offer. You can find a link to our Patreon on our homepage at www.blackinkylifestyle.com.
All right. Well, I did see something interesting on Reddit that just kind of made me smile. It was just hilarious to me. Like, I love black people. I love black people too. I love black people because, in many ways we're united, but there's still a lot of diversity in the black community. And I love it when there are these two opposing ideas that are both very black, but they're opposing. And the thing is, when black people are arguing with other black people, oh, it's beautiful. Sometimes intelligent arguments. I'm not talking about nigga moments. I'm talking about intelligent debates. So there was a post that went up on Reddit. There was basically, I'm assuming they were black, but somebody put a post yo, I'm trying to find more black people in the swinger community. I mean, you know this story. All the events seem to be to just have a lot of white people, which isn't a problem. It's just, I'd like to meet some of my people at these parties, and I just don't see them. Where the fuck are all these black people in the swinger community? We were asking ourselves the same thing. So somebody responds, okay. So you only need to meet one black couple. So somebody was giving them advice. You only need to meet one black couple, and they will introduce you to all others in your area. So keep at it. Some clubs have a hip hop night. Look up the local events on SDC or Cassidy as well. There are also secret black swinger groups on Facebook and black hotel takeovers. Again, you just need to meet that one couple who will introduce you.
Wait, was that a serious response?
Yeah, that was a serious response. Okay. I think so. I don't think anybody was joking when they said that.
Okay.
So I mean, you clearly don't agree with the response.
Well, I think it's very generalized. Yeah.
Right. You just need to meet one black couple. They have the keys to the city. So then the response from another user is yo, meet one black couple and they will introduce you to all black couples in the area, because all black couples know each other, right?
Right.
Some clubs have a hip hop night. What the fuck? Generalize much? Don't ever repeat any of this stupid shit you just said again. So then the original user comes back and says, or else what? Mm-hmm. And your man comes back and says, I love black people. He says, or else I'll red list you in all swinger circles in your community, because as you know, all black people know each other. We have microchips installed in our brains like radars called blackometers. It's like Professor X using Cerebro, for a visual reference. I was just imagining like a black Professor X just using Cerebro in the swinger community.
Be like, nah, don't fuck with them.
All right. Shout out to Reddit users talking about swinging. Shout out to the lifestyle. Shout out to my black people. Okay. So band spotlight. All right. This is the last thing I'll talk about before we move on to today's topic. I know we're taking a while to get there, but just so much shit has happened. We only release these episodes every month. So somebody in our band spotlight had posted a video, or our band group had posted a video, I guess of an argument between him and his partner. And I guess his partner was complaining that he did not nut, during one of their sessions. And I guess she was equating that to like, that's like lifestyle dick when you don't nut or something like that. And so it had me thinking, number one, I understand women like to make dudes nut, and that's a beautiful thing, I think. I mean, that's awesome. But it had me thinking, is there a difference between how you perform in the lifestyle versus with your partner? So I think for men who don't nut, there is a, you don't nut because, during in the lifestyle, the expectation is that, you want to go for longer sessions. You want to go for round 1, round 2. Yeah. Sometimes, orgy, you want to make sure you get a taste of taste of A and B. So I get that. But is there a difference between how you perform in the lifestyle and with your partner? And what are your expectations in either situation? And how do you know when you're getting one over the other? So I guess I'd ask you, is there a difference from the way you perform in the lifestyle or with a lifestyle partner versus how you would perform with me?
Yeah. I think it would be different. I mean, like we obviously have a connection with each other that we're not going to have with other people. So there's just going to be a level of intimacy that's there that's not going to be with a play partner. And we know each other's buttons. I mean, it's still good. It's just like there's an element of the unknown there, I think. And it's never going to be as intimate, at least for me.
Although, sometimes when I'm smashing, I don't give a shit about intimacy. I'm just trying to bust nuts and not just my nuts. Like, I'm trying
even with me.
Well, no, I mean, with you. Well, actually with you, I'm trying to make you bust nuts.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So, I'm a little bit, my stroke game is a little different, but I feel like one of the main differences between lifestyle pussy and I say lifestyle sex rather, the condom thing is serious. If I'm smashing you raw, like it's a totally different experience, So I feel like just physically it's just more intimate and it's just different.
Oh, speaking of which, we got some new condoms to try.
Yeah, we do. I'm not going to name them yet because I don't know how good they are. Okay, are you going to finish that snack before? Do we need to pause so you can finish the snack? Like you cannot be chewing.
I wasn't chewing.
Oh, that's I know, but you got the snack in your hand, so I'm like, you're going to take a bite out of it, and
and then I move the mic.
Okay, all right. I'm just saying it picks up all those chewing sounds.
I got you.
It's weird. I hate that sound. You know how much I hate that shit. Like lip smacking.
Can I swallow? Is that okay?
That's what she said. And yes, it is okay if you swallow. Okay. So this episode will be about 5 things five reflections that we have. This is our 50th episode. At first I had put together 50 lessons learned in the lifestyle.
That was too many.
It's way too many. We're already like 50 minutes into this episode. So I decided to scrap that and decided to focus on 5 things. Just 5 reflections that we have on on our 50 episodes.
Yeah.
Knowing that we actually did record, technically we recorded more than 50. We recorded like 60 episodes, but like they're not really, a lot of them are bonuses and part twos and shit like that. So, but we saying 50, nigga.
Okay.
Fuck it. It's 50 episodes. All right. Okay. So my first reflection. So one of the reasons why we made the podcast was because we wanted our voices to be heard in the community. In the community of lifestyle podcasters, that did not include a lot of podcasters of color. Like there's a lot of podcasters of color out there, but not really in the swinging podcast community.
Yeah.
Certainly not couples.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess my question to you is, do you think that we've been heard? Like in our first episode, that's what we wanted to do. Do you think we've been heard?
Oh yeah, I absolutely think so. I think that, just the reflection of our audience and the outreach we have there, recognition throughout the community, the podcast community. I think we've been heard.
Yeah, we've met our fans.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still surprised at how many people listen to this show.
Mm-hmm.
And people reach out to us, we got fans reaching out to us. We got other vendors reaching out to us as well. And that's always been really validating. Even like sponsorships. So yeah, our voice has clearly been heard. Sometimes I'm surprised at how many like people reference Black and Kinky, oh shit, like Bomber and Bell.
Because we just be talking shit.
Yeah, and people fucking listen.
Mm-hmm.
To all this shit we be talking. We got to know a few other podcasters.
We did, yeah.
And we got to know We Got a Thing, we were on their show. And we got to meet who are the other folks? That couple next door, J and K.
Mm-hmm.
We met a few other folks at Naughty and Nolans, and that's been really awesome. And we met some really great people. Also, there's a lot of other podcasters of color that have been born since we came on the scene.
And which is one thing we always wanted too. It's like, we wanted our voices to be heard, but we knew that it wasn't just our voices that were needed. Cause we have one particular perspective, but that's not the perspective of all Black couples in the lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
And so are all people of color in the lifestyle. Excuse me. So, cause we only have one perspective. And, while we feel our perspective is important, we know that having multiple perspectives is important as well.
What do you think is different what do you think makes us different from those other podcasters? I know I'm the only one who listens most of the time, but what do you think makes us unique?
I think the fact that, I think we have different experiences. Just how anybody sees the world, we're going to see it differently. And just because we're both of color doesn't mean that we have the same experiences.
Right. Definitely different. Like I'd say the Monogamish podcast and Living the Sweet Life with Locke and Triss. Those two podcasts are very different from ours. The Monogamish podcast, they seem to be, first of all, they got those Caribbean accents that are just really nice to listen to. We can't give you that here at B&K. I'm sorry.
Nope.
But Living a Sweet Life, they got their style. They're on video. They got the live thing going with their sweet talkers. We not doing that though.
No.
I'm not bold enough to do live shows, son. But they got the live show on there with the sweet talkers, and that's really cool. That's a very different experience. We got a few interracial swinger podcasters. We got Bedroom Bliss, more of a story type podcast. I feel like they really go into their experiences in great detail. Very sexy. And then, you got the Unicorn Diaries that I feel like are are like Super Saiyan status when it comes to this lifestyle, sex positive stuff. Because they do that. They do the webcam thing.
Oh yeah, we definitely not about that life.
Right. And of course we got the Mixed Nuts podcast. Shout out to them. We did have them on the show. Well,
we had all the people except for Unicorn Diaries.
Yeah, we haven't
and
had
Monogamous that you just mentioned.
Right. So shout out to the Unicorn Diaries and Monogamous and Bull and Bunny. They're a new one. I haven't heard their podcast yet. I think they're an interracial couple.
Yeah, I've just seen them on Instagram.
But yeah, they're on some Super Saiyan status shit too, because I've seen some of their pictures and they out there. They are out here. So shout out to all of my folks of color and the people who love them. My Interracial Swinger podcast. We would like to think that we were inspirations for these podcasts. Because some of these, I don't remember seeing them before we came out. Maybe we had nothing to do with them and they are just indicative of a growing community of diverse, sex positive swinger couples. And I know there are some other sex positive folks of color that I didn't mention that talk about the swinger lifestyle. Single folks. But we show y'all love too. I didn't write y'all in the show notes, so I can't name your podcast. All right. So number 2, I heard that so I'll never forget this. I started listening to, I think it was the showrunner. It was one of these podcasts where, they talk about podcasts. And I heard this one thing on a podcast that said that, podcasts die because they fail to evolve. So I wanted to talk about that a little bit. Like, do you think that we evolved? Like, reflect on our first 10, 20 episodes. How have we changed?
I mean, our sound is much better. Our perspective on experiences are different.
Our perspective. What do you mean? How is it
like
different?
I mean, as we grew in the lifestyle and had more experiences, I think that evolved some of our perspectives.
So you're saying you like short men now?
Nice, say that.
Okay.
But yes, I mean, I just think that we're more knowledgeable, so we know how to navigate things a little better. I think we had a conversation about this, not necessarily podcast related, but more just how in our play, we have moved on from our exploration phase, and trying to find the new adventure thing, to more so.
I am never just going to go to a club just to go there.
Yeah.
I'm never doing that.
Yeah.
Ever again. Not a house party. I'm not doing that. I mean, there are some parties I'll go to. Well, there's some parties I'd like to go to. You're just going to say no. Just because I could always find love at those parties, but you don't be finding love. So you're just like, no.
Exactly.
All right. I might become a single male out this bitch. Maybe I'll evolve into a single male. Let me spread my wings, son. Get out of this cocoon.
So in terms of how we play, and what kind of events and things like we want to attend, I think has evolved. The kind of things that we, I think, again, I don't know. I think I've said this on every episode this year, but 2020 was going to be an evolution year for the podcast in terms of our interaction with our audience, and
what were we going to do?
Other partnerships, just like, meet and greets and hosting. We were going to really boost our hosting stuff that we were going to be doing. And stuff like that. And it looks like some of that may be coming in 2021. And so, depending on if the world doesn't fall apart again. So I think that also is a part of the leveling up that we are in the middle of experiencing.
Okay. I mean, so I agree with all that. I think we had started out as more of an educational podcast.
Yeah.
And we've clearly kind of moved away from that. We're still somewhat on the educational side, but I feel like we've gotten a little bit more raw.
I think we were always within the edutainment realm.
Edutainment.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And some people offered us feedback and they were like, yo, you need to get more raw. And we got raw.
Mm-hmm.
And this stopped being, I mean, we're both educators by trade, so it couldn't, we couldn't help it. Sometimes we still can't help it.
Mm-hmm.
But, we also recognize that, like, as I reflect on the other podcasters out there,
mm-hmm.
there are some, I'm not going to name names, but I will tell them to their face, that they are a lot cleaner than we are.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like, they're not as vulgar, like they
mm-hmm.
keep it cleaner.
Mm-hmm.
And I admire that. I do. I just can't do it anymore. Like once I've switched over to the dark side and started talking about busting nuts, I couldn't stop talking about it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be vulgar. Some people don't like that shit, but I don't give a fuck.
Y'all don't have to listen though.
Yeah, y'all got plenty of other podcasters to choose from. Fuck that. Come to BNK if you want to hear about cocks and pussies. But I think we reached a good balance between, like, being educational, being informative, and just being, like, entertaining. I hope we did that.
Mm-hmm.
So, I appreciate that. I'm also, like, I just want to reflect on the fact that, and this is number 3. Actually, let me talk about number 2 for a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
We are constantly thinking about new ways to interact with our audience.
Yeah. Have to.
So, this podcast Palooza is just one thing. But, we're going to be thinking about live shows. We're going to be thinking about other ways of interacting with our audience on social media. We might have some Zoom panel discussions with some fans, with some guests. And, we want you guys to know that we are constantly thinking about ways to evolve, ways to make the show grow. And we're not trying to stay stagnant. Now, I do want to acknowledge that there are some changes we might make that people might not like. That just comes with the territory.
Again, you don't have to listen.
Right. But we are constantly listening to feedback from our fans. And we're honoring that. So I appreciate that. That is one piece that we learned. Now I'm going to move on to number 3, and number 3 is, I thought we would run out of shit to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
And we haven't, even with this COVID shit.
I know.
We haven't run out of things to talk about because the world is just so crazy. I mean, did you think, like, do you have this concern moving forward? Do you think we'll start running out of shit to say?
No. Maybe if we get locked down again.
I don't think so. I don't think so, because the thing about you and I is we always find interesting things to talk about.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, I'll come into the bedroom and I'll just say the most random shit and it'll start like a 45-minute conversation.
It will.
So we constantly gonna, I cannot see us running out of material to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause, even though we might not be fucking other people, which would be devastating, there'll still be things to talk about. Like, I'm a find a way to do some freaky shit. Like, Amazon is still there. We could order some of those sex dolls and see where it takes us.
Why was I just thinking about sex dolls? Yeah.
You were thinking about sex dolls too?
Yeah, but not like the blow up sex, like a Japanese. I don't know if we want to spend that much money, but you know what I'm talking about.
Well, I'm not trying to do just the inflatable shits. Yeah. I'm trying to do like the real silicone. I don't even know what them shits are made out of, but like the whole body.
Yeah, the Japanese sex dolls.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean, do you let's talk about this for a second, because this might become a serious conversation, because I'm still trying to do some threesomes up in the crib. And maybe that's the medium. Get one of these sex dolls. So you got a preference? You want her to be black or white?
Oh, definitely black.
I mean, you want her to be like Lupita black or like Tisha Campbell black?
Can we get in between?
All right. So you want like a caramel?
Yeah.
All right. You want like that fat ass stallion joint, or just like something athletic?
No, definitely fat ass.
Okay, so you want like a Serena Williams type.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit. Okay. All right. You know what the interesting thing about sex dolls? That anus is just so easy to get into. Don't ask me how I know. It may or may not be because, there's now categories of like sex dolls on porn sites.
Oh.
Sometimes I'm just curious. Ass is easy access every time.
See, I mean, because but you have to position them and stuff, and they're not making noise. Is the porn quiet?
Pretty much. I mean,
okay.
I think I might have muted it just because I didn't want to hear anything.
Okay, I'll be doing that.
But what I did, are you serious? Yeah. Like muting porn? Because the sounds in my head are much better than the sounds they're making. I'm like, bitch, I know you faking it for a check. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when the dude nuts, that's the only real sound.
That's genuine.
Yes. Yeah. But like the chicks, I just be like, chick, like, come on, man. Like, not all the time. Like there's some porn stars that are really out there enjoying their job.
Yeah.
But some
most
of these
the
chicks
time
be
they do
faking.
too much.
Yeah. But there was one video I saw where a dude had 2 dolls. And he kind of had one off to the side, and I don't know, the way he positioned them, he convinced me that he's done this a lot. Because I was like,
wait, so he was fucking both of them?
Well, he was fucking one of them while the other one was just kind of sitting there in positions like she was waiting.
Okay.
And she was wearing, like, she still had her bikini on. It was like when I saw the screenshot, I was like, okay, threesome video. And then I started watching. I was like, oh shit, that bitch ain't moving. It's a doll. Okay. All right, 2020. All right, number 4. So let's talk about disappointments. All right. So we've had disappointments. There was one point at which we were thinking about experimenting with erotic stories. That didn't work because it was just way too much time. Like the sound mixing, I wasn't as good at it as I thought. Some people might people who are just now like starting to listen to our episodes are going to like come upon those couple and realize we just never did it again. Yeah. And I never explained it. Well, now I'm explaining it. Yeah. I didn't like it. I didn't like doing it. I mean, I liked the idea of it.
Yeah. The idea of it was good.
It just required more voice acting. It required a lot more sound mixing and like it's an editing nightmare. Like if somebody else can do that, and I'm sure we can find somebody on Fiverr to do that shit.
This is also why like the skits happen few and far between.
Yeah. Well, I think one of the reasons why the skits didn't happen, and they're going to happen. I spoke to Locke and Trist about this shit. We're going to figure this out. No, the reason why, the thing that stopped the skits from really happening was COVID. Because we wanted to do the skits in person with our friends. And we have the scripts, like the scripts is still there.
We have the voice actors.
And it's like, oh shit, like I wasn't trying to do this shit over the phone. Like, it's a really like, it's an involved process. Like you got to have takes. You got to you got to be there with somebody to really direct this shit. But it's happening. Don't think they're not happening. They are happening. I said some mistakes and embarrassing moments could have been handled better, and I don't know what I was talking about.
Like on the show, or just in life that we talked about?
I think in our lives. There were, I don't even know how deep I can go into this right now. I just know that, I mean, this is true for everyone. Like there are some bad moments. Like there are decisions I've made in the lifestyle that I wish I had not.
Oh yeah, same.
And I think they're in the future that there'll be more of those. The other thing I wanted to say, this isn't quite connected to this one, but it might be. I feel like our online presence as a couple that's not the Bomber and the Bell, I feel like that couple is slowly dying. You understand what I mean? Like we don't want to go out, if I could just make up a few names, Earl in Kenya. Let's just assume
Earl. Okay, go ahead.
You don't like the name Earl?
No.
Earl sounds like such like actually Earl does sound like somebody who has a hard time getting a job.
Earl is just an old country name to me. Oh, Uncle Earl.
Well, Kenya sound like she had herpes a few times. So
Lord Jesus.
Kenya sounds like she gets around the block in the projects.
No offense to any Kenyans.
No offense. Shout out to the Earls and Kenyas out there.
Yeah.
No disrespect, but no. So Earl and Kenya. So let's just say that I don't want people looking up Earl and Kenya on fucking Cassidy or like APG. We're not there. But let's just say that was our names. On these sites, and like that's basically who we were in the lifestyle when we were just kind of in our experimental phase, like you were saying.
Yeah.
We have chosen to abandon that persona. We are now the Bomber and the Belle when we go out.
And this is actually, and you talk about evolution, this is actually a big deal because it was always a question, when we would go to an event or a party or something like that. It's like, okay, who are we going to be? Like, Are we going to be our podcast personas? Are we going to be our self personas, or like our actual personas? Or are we going to be our incognito personas?
Right. And what I'll say is, well, let me step back. I think when it comes to our online personas, when we used to go out there and, send out messages to couples we liked, this is when our persona was important. And I feel like we're going to just stop doing that.
Yeah. Well, we've been stopped doing that.
Yeah.
Or I should say you have stopped
new
doing
friends.
That. Yeah.
So it's like, but when we go to a party, I still want the option to be Earl in Kenya. Because I don't know if that party's going to be fly or not. Like if it's a bullshit ass party, I want the freedom.
See, now you changing the rules because you told me we were the Bomber and Belle regardless.
No. See, listen, if we go to, I don't know, if we go to Hito, right? Actually, no. If we go to Hito, we're going as the Bomber and the Belle.
Right.
I'm trying to think of an example because there might be a case where we just want kind of a break and we just want to be nobody. That's what I'm saying. But I'm saying,
but you be giving us away anyway.
That's true. That's true. But like, if somebody heard our podcast, you know what? Fuck it. We're just the Bomber and the Belle.
Okay.
All right, fine. I'm just trying to be like, yo, sometimes like, I don't want, you know how it can get with famous people. I'm not saying we're famous, but it's like, yo, can I get a selfie? No, bitch, we're anonymous. It's an anonymous podcast. Fuck is wrong with you? I don't want to have to do that all the time.
Yeah, I got you.
All right. So, all right, let's think about the next 50 episodes. This is number 5. So as we think about the next 50 episodes, because there will be 50 unless, the Belle gets pregnant with triplets, then it's over. God. It's over. Like it's done. I know that is taking us out of the whole game.
That's highly unlikely.
Yeah. But that's a possible scenario. Like if the show stops, it's either because one of us died or triplets. Or maybe even fucking twins. I don't even know if we could tolerate that shit right now.
Yeah, no.
All right. At some point, do you think we'll show so just thinking about the next 50 years, like how do you envision our show?
50 years?
50 episodes, sorry. Damn. Hold on, how old am I now? Shit, if we make it 50 years, fuck, I'm gonna be like 90 something.
You'll be 90.
Yeah, I will not be fucking at 90. I just don't see
listen,
it happening.
You don't know what kind of technology they're gonna have by then.
Dick implants.
They might have the like the bodysuits,
Like Iron Man?
No.
Iron Dick?
Like what was that? What's that show on Netflix? Carbon.
I am Iron Dick.
Carbon? Altered carbon.
Altered carbon. Oh, I can put my consciousness into another body with a big dick. Like, if you could put your consciousness into another body, like, would you want to be? What would be your parameters?
I mean, it would be my body, just my best body.
Oh, your best body. Okay. I don't think that's how it worked in altered carbon.
Why not?
They would have to create it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, but they have to create it anyway.
Oh, okay. So you would just be like, okay, I want myself, but just in the best shape as possible.
Exactly.
That sounds mad boring. I mean, I'm sure it would be sexy, but I'm like, like I would want LeBron James' body for a while. That's, there's no degree of working out that would make me look like LeBron James. I know that for sure.
But why? But I'm saying, but you could get the same thing like in your own body, though.
How? What are you talking about? What's going on here? I'm talking about the laws of physics. I can't make myself taller.
No, you can't make yourself taller, but like you could have, like you said, you couldn't work out to get like LeBron James.
That's
but
right.
You could design a body, your own body.
Oh, you're saying,
fit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, that's cool. I would do that.
Yeah, that's what
all
I'm
right.
saying.
Okay. I would keep these like beautiful facial features.
Exactly.
And
and your hairline, because LeBron's is shot.
Yeah. Shout out to LeBron and his fans. All right. So, as you reflect on the next 50 episodes, do you think we'll show our faces at some point?
Yes. You don't. I know you don't, but.
Now, granted, 50 episodes is like, I mean, if we continue on our monthly, that's like less than 5 years from now.
Mm-hmm.
You think we're going to show our faces?
I think so.
Oh, wow. Okay. I don't know. Listen, all I'm saying is that we got a thing, the Joneses, they got to show their faces first.
They did show their faces.
When? No, they didn't.
Yes, they did.
No, they don't.
On the virtual, naughty stuff, there was a picture of them up. Yes, they've shown their faces. Because they remember they got outed, so they were like, fuck it.
Yeah, but that's different. They got like outed to their...
I mean, they don't show their faces on a regular basis.
No, but their faces are like, if... I'm going to have to look up what you're talking about because I don't remember seeing that. Oh, shit. The Joneses is out, son.
They've been out. You late.
Wow. I did not know that. Okay. What about our focus on being parents in the lifestyle?
Oh, definitely. Because, I mean, when we weren't parents, that was more the anomaly than the norm. Like, everybody else we knew were parents. Or our parents, pretty much everybody.
Yeah.
So I think, it would definitely be something that we would talk about. I don't know, unless our audience doesn't want to hear it, y'all can sell us.
Look, all I'm saying is this, that, before we were parents, sometimes we would go out on dates, or we would schedule dates, and, some folks, would unfortunately cancel on us. Now, if we, schedule dates in the future, we'll clearly have to think about childcare. And if somebody flakes on us after we done spent like a couple $100 on fucking childcare, I'm telling you right now, you're getting cursed the fuck out. I'm telling you right now, I am cursing your ass out. It ain't gonna be no, you know what, next time, no, fuck you. Shit. Yo, man, it's a different world. All right. So how do you think our discussion about the lifestyle will change as we age?
I mean, I don't know. Definitely like who we play with, how we play, those kind of things. I would hope that we would do some more interesting things, like travel play, stuff like that.
Yeah. I think you'll become more open sexually
Okay.
as you get older. I feel like you're not at that height
okay
yet. You're
you think I'm gonna start eating pussy?
I did not say that. I did not say that. I don't think that's something that's going to happen. No,
I don't think so either.
I don't think your palate will change in that way. but I think you'll be, we were talking about this today, and our Patreon members are going to find out a little bit about this later. But I think you are growing and are, more comfortable in your own skin now than you were certainly last year. And I think as that happens, you will become more sexually aggressive. That is that's my prediction.
Okay.
Emphasis on the dick.
Ridiculous.
I see that Epsom salt is going to be in my future. Epsom salt in the jacuzzi.
I just told you about my knee clicker earlier in the episode, so we're already there. Went to the chiropractor today, but that was already a part of my maintenance practice. But that's definitely going to be, it's more consistent.
Yeah, I just started doing daily stretches. I couldn't fuck with it. Shout out to I think the last thing I said I alluded to earlier was about IG lives. So we were going to start doing those at some point.
And showing our faces?
Well, maybe we will, and maybe we'll put a fucking mask on, Belle. Damn.
Okay.
There's ways to get around it. Shit. Damn. All right. So.
Well, IG Live, that's news to me.
I said live. I mean, Facebook Live, IG Live, the world's going to be different.
It is.
And apparently those delete after a while anyway. So
yeah, they delete after 24 hours.
Official record.
Unless you save them.
All right. Okay. We'll talk about it. We'll have our annual company meeting of 2. All right. So I wanted to get into... I just wanted to shout out, I'm not going to read this email. I just wanted to shout out to somebody out there who sent us an email about Southern monuments, particularly Confederate monuments and shit. So we have been expressing our confusion about why these are still a thing. So somebody just acknowledged that, the Confederacy was not like, it's not like other wars we've fought where there's a clear winner and loser and, we just kind of eliminate the loser and move on. Truth is that, this wasn't kind of a conquering exercise, but more like the Confederacy surrendered and President Lincoln still had to play nice. And so it was just a different kind of defeat. So they were allowed to honor their fallen and their heroes on their side. And that is why we have these things up, and it's okay, but it's a slow defeat for the Confederacy. Trump is still trying to keep them alive. But whatever. But thanks for clearing that up.
Stupid. I mean, I get it, but it's still stupid. Y'all still lost. Sorry ass losing motherfuckers.
Damn. Okay. Tell them how you really feel, Belle.
Because that's why they mad now. The election people.
What, the Confederacy? Oh yeah, they upset right now. It was funny. I saw a video with this black guy that was God, he was out there protesting with the pro Confederate statue folks. I can't remember what state this was in, but God, the internet had so many jokes on this dude. They're like, dude, do you understand what these motherfuckers are fighting for? Stupid ass. We got to educate our children, B. We got to educate, not just in school. We got to educate them at the dinner table. Just let them know. Okay.
That's where the learning happens.
Absolutely. All right, DM. So somebody sent us a message on one of our social media platforms. I never write it down, but I'm just going to read this out. Actually, yeah, I'm going to read this out because I didn't proofread it. And I know how much that gets on your nerves.
Yeah.
All right. I picked up on your podcast several months ago after listening to you guys on an episode of Sex with Strangers with Chris Soa. Shout out to Sex with Strangers. I'm glad we're getting listeners from there still. Yeah. I've been a fan ever since. Been listening to the podcast chronologically, and I'm only at episode 23 or 24 right now. I can't even remember what episode that was. Anywho, I think the show is awesome. You guys never fail to make me laugh, which is a huge part of both your charms. Holla. I am black. I wouldn't call myself. Yes, thank you. I wouldn't call myself kinky per se. Shit, neither do we. But that's just the name of the show. We're stuck with
regret.
Yo, we're gonna be taking some kinky pictures soon. I'm not still reading this DM. I'm not in the lifestyle, but you guys are great storytellers with some sexy voices, and there's such an ease about the both of you that make you guys abundantly attractive, even without seeing one solitary picture of you.
Oh, that's really sweet.
Oh, that's really nice to hear, because I don't know what the fuck I sound like. The accent cannot be pinpointed.
Oh yeah,
at all. It's just the bomber. Yeah. That's the bomber's accent. Yeah. The black and kinky thing. This is what I wanted to say. So I actually did want to shout out a new partner of ours. This new partner is Sydney Rose Intimate Apparel. So Sydney Rose is a seller of many different sexy products, specifically sexy outfits and bikinis, and lingerie and all of that good shit. Mm-hmm. So what we're going to be starting to do with Sydney Rose is we're going to be each month going to be featuring a outfit that we have purchased from the site, and that the Belle is going to put on, because I'm not putting on none of this shit.
They do have men's products, though.
They do, but I don't know. I mean, you don't have many options with dudes. Like, how many different pairs of shorts?
Yeah.
Like, there's not much variety there. Y'all got a lot going on when it comes to the negligees and shit. What's the difference between a negligee and a lingerie? Which one do you prefer?
Which word?
Yeah.
I think lingerie. I would say I use lingerie, the word lingerie, more often.
Mm-hmm. I like negligees, but I feel like that's old school language. Lingerie. You ever heard somebody pronounce it lingerie?
Yes.
Isn't that sad when you hear that? Anyway, Sydney Rose Apparel. You can find them at Sydney Rose, SIDNEYROSEIA.com. Check them out. We are going to be taking a few shots of the Belle wearing some of these outfits. Her face will not be in it because we're not the Joneses right now. But her body will. So look forward to that.
Oh, there is a difference. I mean, it doesn't make a difference now. This was made back in the day.
Oh, you looked this up?
I did.
All right. Shout out to Google.
So the main difference between negligee and lingerie is that the negligee is a sheer or heavily trimmed woman's nightgown or dressing gown, and lingerie is historically linen and lace components of a woman's wardrobe, collectively, now generally just elegant undergarments.
That was negligee?
That I gave you both.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry. Undergarments? That was really unsexy. I'm sorry. It's just I heard the undergarments
elegant
part.
Undergarments.
Elegant. So wait, so lingerie are undergarments? That doesn't sound right.
Yeah.
Lingerie is not undergarments.
Yeah.
You can't wear them shits under anything.
Yes,
I guess you can, but that's not really what it's meant for.
No, but
like you wear it under something because you can't walk around with it legally, I guess. Like, it's not like it's underwear, is what I'm saying. Well, it's not like panties.
But you can have fancy panties that are lingerie.
Okay. All right. I guess. Okay. Clearly, I'm not the connoisseur here.
Mm-hmm.
Sydney Rose is, so check them out. Mm-hmm. And the Belle, we already ordered our first outfit. So the Belle is going to be putting that on. You want to describe this one?
So it's like a dress, and it's lace, and it's red, and that's all I'll say. You'll have to. Where are you posting this? Actually, that's a good question.
Oh, it will likely go on our Instagram page.
Oh, so you'll have to check out our Instagram.
No, it's definitely going on Instagram
to see more.
If you want to see some really like risky shit, you got to go to APG. You got to go to altplayground.net. We be posting some shit in there. But Instagram don't be allowing that shit. Mm-mm. Although there be some couples on Instagram that be sharing some pretty risky stuff. Sometimes I'll message them and be like, "Yo, you know this shit ain't gonna fly, right?" Like I'm not hating. I'm not gonna report you. I'm just saying you can't just be showing nipple like on Instagram. You got to put some pasties on there.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's our episode for today, celebrating our 50th episode. Yeah. We appreciate all the love. Appreciate y'all.
You tell us what you would like to see in the next 50 episodes.
Besides Belle's titties.
Yeah. I mean, you could say you want to see my titties, but you probably not. But yeah, tell us what you want to hear from us, what you'd like to see, how you'd like to see us evolve or continue to evolve.
Yes. And we will, whether y'all tell us to or not. We're just going to find our own way.
Oh, yeah.
And if y'all got something for the Belle's knees, so that they can stop clicking.
It's just one. It's just the right one.
It's like it when she's prepared to give me a blowjob. There's like a notification that people can hear. Click, and then when she's done, you hear it again. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Again, if you actually. You know what? I'm not going to say anything. I'll just say peace out. Listen to the bell tell you how to get in contact with us. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, God, that sounded awful. Peace out. That sounded more manly. All right. Peace.
Bye. Thanks for listening. We hope you enjoyed the show. Please do check us out on Twitter and Instagram at Black and Kinky. You can also find us under the same name on Cassidy, APG, Amore Getaways, and Patreon. Check us out on Facebook and YouTube under Black and Kinky Lifestyle. Feel free to email us at kinky-lifestyle@gmail.com or call and leave a voice message at 937-462-0744. Bye.
Black and Kinky Lifestyle.